This is Marilyn Lohman, Service Hydrologist at WFO Pendleton. I will be reviewing the mountain snowpack over the last month and the water supply forecast for the coming months. This map, produced by the Natural Resource Conservation Service, shows the percent of normal snow water equivalent, or amount of water being held in the snowpack for the various basins across the state of Washington. February and March were pretty stormy months with a large increase in the snowpack and precipitation. Snowpack in the central and southern Washington Cascades remains in place with amounts near to slightly above normal. In southeast Washington, the snow water equivalent increased from 114% of normal to 125% of normal. We'll look at a few locations within the basins to see how the snowpack has changed over the last month. These charts show the snow water equivalent, or water held in the snow, for the water year October through September. The blue line is the maximum observed, while the red line the minimum, with the green line average. Using these charts, we can see how the snow water equivalent accumulates through the winter and spring and compare it to average. The Touchet Snotel site is in the Walla Basin, around 5,500 feet. Looking at the black line, we can see that this site continued to have some accumulations throughout the month and is slightly below normal. The Sassy Ridge Snotel site is located in the upper Yakima Basin at 4,200 feet. This site saw some small increases throughout the month and continues to be near normal. The Bumping Ridge Snotel site is around 4,600 feet in the central Washington Cascades. Looking at the black line, we can see it remained nearly steady through much of the month, with a small increase near the end of the month, with amounts near to slightly above normal. Across Oregon, the snowpack is still below normal over most of the state. Amounts remain nearly steady over the Cascades, with amounts near 60% of normal. The Grande Basin saw a decrease due to a warm rain event, with amounts falling to near 55% of normal. The Umatilla Basin remains near 75% of normal, and the Ronde Basin increased to near 100% of normal. We'll look at some individual sites within the basin in the next several slides. In the lower Deschutes Columbia Basin, Clear Lake Snotel is at an elevation of 3,500 feet. Looking at the black line, the current year observation, this site lost snowpack during the first part of the month, but then had a small increase at the end of the month and continues to be well below normal. In the upper Deschutes Basin, Three Creek Meadows Snotel site is at about 5,600 feet. We can look at the solid black line and note that the site had little change throughout the month and continues to be well below normal. For the Grande Basin, we're looking at the Blue Mountain Springs Snotel site at 5,900 feet. This location had a substantial decrease during the first part of the month, but then a small increase at the end of the month, and still remains below normal. For the Umatilla Basin in the Blue Mountains, we can look at the High Ridge site located at 4,900 feet. Looking at the black line, we can see that there was little accumulation and even some losses during the first part of the month, and then a slight increase at month's end. The site remains slightly below normal. In the Grande Basin, the Moss Springs Snotel site is at 5,800 feet, and it continues to show a good accumulation of snow and has increased to well above normal levels. The Northwest River Forecast Center uses Ensemble Streamflow Prediction, or ESP generated forecasts, as the official water supply method. The 30-year runoff normals covering the years 1981 to 2010 are being used. For all of the published locations, the updated normals are less than the 1971 to 2000 dataset. This is due to the relatively dry runoff period from 2001 to 2010. New ESP forecasts will be published on the Northwest River Forecast Center's website at a minimum of once per week, but may be updated daily at the discretion of the River Forecast Center. For updated forecasts and more information on ESP forecasts, please see the River Center's website at the address given. This map from the Northwest River Forecast Center's webpage shows a snapshot of the water supply forecast for the coming season. Most locations in Washington and northern Idaho are expected to see supplies of 90 to 125% of normal. The above normal water supply conditions extend into northeast Oregon, but the central and southern portions of Oregon are expected to be below normal, with well below normal amounts extending into the Snake River area of southern Idaho. We'll take a look at a few selected locations of water supply points. For the Yakima River system, we'll look at the Yakima River near Parker. Looking at the plot, the solid green line is the 30-year normal. The box plots show the entire range of forecast values, with the blue dot the 50th percentile, or most likely value. We'll be using this value and comparing it to normal. The volume forecast for the Yakima River near Parker has been nearly steady over the last month, with water supply amounts expected to be near 115% of normal. The next point we'll look at is the Grande River at Troy. The forecasted volume of water, the blue dot, for the Grande River near Troy has remained nearly steady and is expected to be slightly above normal at 115% of normal. In the Umatilla Basin, for the Umatilla River at Pendleton, for the period April through September, the volume forecast has increased slightly during the past month and is near 92% of normal. For the site, the Columbia River at the Dalles, once again we see the average plotted in green with the most likely value, the blue dot. The volume for the April through September period has increased from around 100% of normal at the start of March to about 106% of normal. Once again, the previous seen plots and additional water supply locations are available in an interactive form on the Northwest River Forecast Center's website at the address listed on the concluding slide. The outlook from the Climate Prediction Center for April, May, and June calls for near to above normal temperatures and below normal precipitation. For more information on the unseasonably dry and drought conditions both here in the Northwest and across the country, please visit the National Integrated Drought Information System webpage at the address above. You can view the Drought Monitor, look at current and forecast conditions, as well as impacts from drought, and also find resources relating to drought. Once again, additional water supply forecasts and the interactive forecasts can be found at the Northwest River Forecast Center's webpage at the address listed. Please join me again in early May to see how the snowpack is progressing and for updated water supply forecasts. If you have any questions, please contact me by email or by phone at the number listed here. Thank you.